Hello, sitting here at the Zurich airport on a cloudy day, about to take off, as you can see. Sitting here with Steve Singer, one of the other delegates with All True Institute, and I'm just going to do a quick interview since Steve says, how many times have you been here, Steve?
This is my second year.
Second year, all right. So, Steve, since it's your second year here, kind of curious a few things of your experience for 2020 Davos. What was the most intriguing or maybe inspirational things that you saw, or like concept in a talk, or even just talking with an individual that you experienced?
Well, this year's conference was centered around climate change. So one of the big things that we were seeing and talking about was how to clean up the environment. But more importantly, it was how the disruption of the supply chain, going from the manufacturing side and the transferability and traceability side, was happening. And that's really what the whole focus of the Davos was all about.
Wow. Yeah, because you were participating, at least you participated in that you saw our panel and Fashion for Development's panel on supply chain and sustainability. What were some of I know you had some connectivity that you saw there. What were your thoughts on that, seeing it from your perspective?
So there are some exciting new technologies coming out for some of the universities that allow the tracing of cottons and other fibers and other plant-based products, so that now you have a path to see exactly where those materials are coming from when they're made into fabrics. And that was really exciting to me, because not only can you do that on a before you actually manufacture the product, you can also encrypt it and encode some other information in there too. So this kind of comes into play about how the materials are going to go from the ground into product and back into the ground and be recycled.
Right.
From that, people can then determine on whether or not they want to participate in a cleaner environment, and also what the cost of that would be to the consumer.
Oh, right. For transparency with the consumer. So would you think that's one of the most impactful or potentially impactful concepts or projects that you saw that could be transformative?
Yeah, this will be very transformative, because the old manufacturers and the big, I would say, luxury brands, the consumer tastes are changing. So they have to adapt to the consumer taste. And in order for us to actually have any impact, you have to go back to the supplier level, not just necessarily at the big brand level. So that's what was eye-opening to me. I thought that the big brand level, they would be the ones who were going to produce this particular result. But it's more on the consumer side and also for the manufacturing side.
Yeah, sweet. So I'm going to do a quick fire.
Okay, great.
Questions. So favorite panel?
The favorite panel I had was on the impact of psychedelics on the medical profession and how that could cure a lot of the PTSD syndromes, depression syndromes, but it's not like the wholesale legalization of like MDMA or any of the psychotropic drugs. So that, I was afraid that if that was going to happen, it would be another opiate epidemic, or general physicians were doing it. And I was glad to hear that that's not necessarily true. They're going to be very tightening on those particular things. So they're going through the FDA trials right now for the last stages of 2 and 3.
Yeah, sweet. What was your, I guess, like if one-on-one conversations, what was a project that was really surprising to you, that like on a scale, or something that was maybe just your favorite conversation with a one-on-one person?
Well, they didn't have to do anything with the Davos things. Anymore it's for spirituality and actually giving. I belong to the All True Institute, and as a result, it's more about giving to them and setting up situations in which you get synergies between people and relationships. All the people I talk to are very interesting. They have a lot of stuff to say, and they're true to themselves, and that's what really makes it to themselves. And it's not like card passing. If you go to the promenade and you go to a lot of these different talks, what you'll see is that they'll pass you the card to move on to the next one, or you're doing a panel discussion and all you are is the audience. You're not really participating. What we found is that if the audience participates with the panel, and then they can participate coming back into the audience after they have spoken, they get a lot more out of the audience because there may be experts in the audience that the panel can learn from. And that's also going into like the yin and yang angle of learning from both parties.
Right. Sweet. Any projects that you are taking back, or people that you may be working with after this, as far as like we've had all these conversations and now implementation with even just connections or people that you're connecting with, some of your contacts or organizations?
Yeah, well, here there was a electric car, a solar car, and I do a lot of tax planning for family offices and entrepreneurs. So I try to bring them deals to finance and things like that. So there were exciting stuff that I was looking at. One was plant-based chicken that we were doing, and also I'm trying to do a program with attendee, which is in the MIT of Switzerland here, with a lot of their entrepreneurs to bring them into more of a community, get them financing and bring in more CEOs so they can be more experienced when they get out to the business world. Then the other things that I was looking at were, there's so many. I mean, right now I'm working on 5 or 6 different projects. So with the American Diabetes Association and with BizWorld and with AI in the workforce, and I mean, there's 3 or 4 different other ones.
Amazing.
So
Sweet.
I'm just trying to do what I can.
Yes. Well, thank you. Appreciate you taking the time to do a quick interview with us and Fashion for Development, and look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.
Steve Singer.